their lives and lose their freedom to the day they die. We in the land of the snakes. We in the land of the snakes.
Hello guys, it is part 2 to SniperSnakes Deadly Cowtown. Without further ado, let's go.
The next snake in our countdown of deadly serpents has killed more people in Australia than any other snake. It packs enough poison in a single bite to kill more than 50 people. The tiger snake can grow to 6 feet long and is known for its aggressive display, flattening its head like a cobra and hissing loudly. The most dangerous of the tiger snakes are found on a small, uninhabited island 120 miles south of the Australian mainland. The Chapel Island tiger snake spends its days living off the mutton birds that inhabit the island's many burrows. After a long winter of fasting, the tigers come out in spring with an empty belly. The nesting mutton birds make an excellent first meal. But adult mutton birds have a wingspan of 3 feet. They're too big for the tiger snake to eat. So it first kills the mother and then moves on to its real target, the hatchlings. With hundreds of tiger snakes looking for a meal during the spring, Chapel Island becomes for a few weeks the most dangerous place in the world for both chicks and humans. But if we're bitten, we have a much better chance of survival, thanks to the people who develop anti-venom. On the front lines of the fight against snakebite are people like Craig Adams from the Australian Reptile Park. He milks poisonous snakes for their venom. Step 1 is the snake. You need to catch one without getting bitten. Step 2 is to get your laboratory ready for a visit from an angry and dangerous snake.
Australia's got a lot of snakes, and there's about 2,500 bites, reported bites every year. But believe it or not, only one of those ends up being fatal. Now the reason for that is this program here. If we didn't have it, if we didn't produce anti-venom, we'd probably lose up to 300 lives a year from snake bite, and that's a lot. So it's a really critical, important process. It obviously has its dangers. They're going to want to bite you, and if they want to bite you, then that's when you get the venom. I think he does want to bite me somehow. He's obviously raring to go. Watch your tail, mate. You don't want to bite that too. There you go. Now that's a good load of venom there. So, people often think when you milk a snake that it doesn't have any more venom, but that should show you there that he's quite capable of biting a second and a third time. All right. Well, thanks very much for your contribution to the venom program. I'll put him away. Whew. I'm glad they're not all like that. So that's not a bad yield. He's going to prove to be a good milker, and over time that guy's going to save lives. It's a bit of a nasty, dangerous job, but it really has to be done.
The tiger snake is the most common venomous snake in Australia, but it's trapped on the island continent. The next snake in our countdown was once Australian, but 50 million years ago, it decided to go for a swim. Swimming in to number 4 in the countdown are the sea snakes. They are some of the most poisonous serpents on the planet.
Okay, something weird was happening.
They can be found in the warm waters of the Pacific Ocean and mostly live off fish. In the years since they went to sea, these snakes have become perfectly adapted to marine life. Their tails have flattened to act like rudders in the water. Their lungs have lengthened to let them carry more air during their dives. They can dive to depths of 300 feet and can stay down for as long as 5 hours. Some sea snakes can also absorb air through their skin directly from seawater. The olive sea snake gets almost a quarter of its air through its skin. But it's this snake's venom that puts it in the record books. The venom glands of the olive sea snake carry enough venom to kill as many as 60 men. If you get bitten by a sea snake, then a horse named Silverado may be your only hope. Around the world, a select group of strong-hearted horses carry the key to surviving a snake bite in their blood. By giving these horses regular small doses of a particular snake's venom, they ultimately become immune to it. We can then use their blood to make the anti-venom that saves us after a snake bite. The horses live in luxury, and sea snake anti-venom is rarely needed, so just one horse can provide the world's supply. And that's Silverado, who lives in Melbourne, Australia. The sea snake's adaptations have made it incredibly fast in the water, but the trade-off is that it's now not very fast on land, unlike our next contender, which is recognized as the fastest snake on the planet.
It seems there's no place to hide from the world's deadliest snakes. And after the break, hide from the world's deadliest snakes. And after the break, we'll see that even their babies have an appetite for destruction. And later, what's the king of all killer snakes? Discover that there are plenty more snakes to die for on Animal Planet's The Most.
Afraid of the next serpent in our countdown of deadly snakes.
You scream.
Golly, it's a mamba.
Mariki Walesu, in shadow of death. One bite from Mamba, death come quick.
Tarzan knew what he was talking about. The infamous black mamba of southern Africa really is called the shadow of death. It's so aggressive that it can appear out of nowhere to unleash a devastating attack and then disappear just as quickly. That's because the black mamba is the fastest snake on the planet. In short bursts, it can reach up to 14 miles per hour. What's even scarier is that it's one of the only snakes in the world that's willing to seek out and attack humans. Get within 75 feet of a black mamba, and you could be in big trouble. It doesn't take much to make a black mamba nervous, even though it's one of the world's largest venomous snakes, growing up to 12 feet long. The black black mamba is number 3 in the countdown because it will protect its territory from any intruders. More than 100 people a year fall victim to the black mamba simply because they got too close. If this snake catches you with a bite, it will very likely kill you. The venom from each bite is enough to kill 10 men. And the mamba doesn't just strike once. It's capable of hitting up to a dozen times in a row, injecting more venom each time. The snake gains nothing by killing humans. It's just that their presence was a threat. All black mambas want to do is to protect their territory. But they're not the only snakes that are on guard duty. In Indonesia, people are planning to use cobras as a tool to quell rioting crowds. The Bekasi police station ultimately plans to deputize 24 cobras. Lieutenant Colonel Alex Riet Mojo, who is an FBI graduate and holds a PhD in criminology, says that in the future, his officers will be able to use their pet cobras to scare off violent rioters. But not even the Indonesian police would employ black mambas. Their venom is almost 100% fatal without prompt medical treatment. Even so, they can't compete with our next contender, which has the most vicious venom of any land snake on the planet.
Number 2.
There's a snake with venom so powerful that it's been nicknamed the atom bomb of the rodent world because it can kill 250,000 mice with a single bite. Sliding in to number 2 in the countdown of the world's deadliest snakes is the Taipan. The Taipan is another of Australia's poisonous predators, but this one sits at the top of the pack with the power to kill 125 men. Preferring to escape from trouble, but if cornered, it will retaliate with the deadliest of attacks. The Taipan's favorite food is the rat, which it can dispatch in seconds. Baby taipans are even more deadly than the adults, because where adults have learned to use just enough venom to kill their victim, babies tend to use all their venom in a single bite. But why should a snake need enough venom to kill 250,000 mice in a single bite when it only needs one for a meal? The answer is that snake venom is also an important aid in pre-digestion. Their venom causes extreme agony. Pain is caused by electrical signals that trigger the pain centers in our brain and warn us of injury. Chemical compounds within snake venom attack these pain centers directly. Researchers are hoping to locate the pathways used by snake venom so that one day they may be able to create the perfect painkiller. By injecting frozen spinal columns with snake venom and tracking its movements from one nerve cell to another, scientists are building up a roadmap that will lead us straight to the heart of pain. With that roadmap, they'll be able to create new medicines that treat our pain centers directly without any of the side effects, such as addiction, that are associated with today's painkillers. The taipan's venom may be 50 times more toxic than the #1 snake in our countdown, but in comparison, the taipan is positively harmless.
We've seen the 9 contenders. They're the best of
snake has struck again.
I'm afraid he's dead. My God, look. I can't believe it.
It is hard to believe that more than 10,000 people every year are killed by the snake coming in at number 1 in the countdown, the cobra. There are dozens of types of cobra, and they can be found across Africa and Asia. But the ruler of them all is the king cobra, the largest venomous snake in the world, growing up to 18 feet long. King cobras are cannibalistic and prefer to eat other snakes. But they will also hunt rats and mice, which brings them into contact with humans. While the cobra's venom isn't as potent as some, it makes up for it in quantity. It can inject more than 6 teaspoons worth in a single bite. That's 10 times more than most snakes. Cobras are also the only snakes that watch over their young. Both parents will diligently guard their young as they grow. Intruders risk being attacked by 2 snakes rather than 1. But despite their fearsome power, not everybody perceives snakes as bad or dangerous. In the northern Transvaal of South Africa, see a real act of faith, then what about competition cobra kissing? In Malaysia, kissing cobras on the head has become a competitive sport. Thousands of people turn out to watch professional and amateur cobra kissers fight it out for a $1,000 prize. They're always just one step away from the kiss of death. It's also an opportunity for people who are scared of snakes to get a little closer to them.
The principal objective was to overcome the fear of snakes, basically.
Perhaps we should all give the cobras a little kiss. To many, they're the cold and silent stuff of nightmares.
Good people. That's like always coming from people when they see them.
But no matter how deadly they are, cobras kill our worst natural enemies, the rats and mice that carry diseases far more deadly than any snake. In that way, cobras save many more people than they kill. It's when humans try to kill them that cobras become dangerous, because cobras can stand up for themselves. And that's why, when it comes to deadly snakes, the cobra really is the most extreme.
Okay, that was an epic countdown. See you guys.